There is a moment in every man's life when he looks around and realizes something. The noise is gone. The crowd disappeared. The invitations stopped. The group chats went silent. You wake up one morning and your phone is nothing but a cold slab of glass. No notifications, no plans, no one asking where you are. Most men panic when they reach this stage. They think it means they failed. They think it means they are unworthy. They think it means life has left them behind. But the truth is far darker and far more powerful. The lack of friends in your life is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that you are transforming. Because here is the reality most people are too soft to admit. The moment a man begins to grow, he becomes incompatible with the world he used to belong to. You are not alone because you are broken. You are alone because you are sharpening. Your solitude is not a wound. It is a weapon. And if you stay with me until the end of this, you will never look at your empty contact list the same way again. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the soul remains unconquerable when it stands on its own. Seneca reminded us that the crowd is usually the source of weakness. Epictetus told his students that if they wanted to rise, they must learn how to be content with being misunderstood. And you. The fact that your circle is small, silent, or non-existent means something very specific. It means your life is entering one of the most important phases a man can ever walk through, the phase where he learns to stand with himself. Today we go deep into what the lack of friends really means, not the sugar-coated version, the real version, the stoic version, the warrior version, the version that most people are too afraid to accept because it requires strength. Let us begin. Insight 1. Your standards outgrew your environment. There is a simple principle that every warrior, every philosopher, and every disciplined man eventually discovers. You cannot outrun your environment. If the people around you are weak, lazy, unfocused, negative, or addicted to comfort, you will feel out of place the moment you start building discipline. Most men do not lose friends. They simply rise above the lifestyle their old friends refuse to leave behind. Imagine you stop drinking because you want clarity. Suddenly the party friends disappear. Imagine you start training because you want strength. Suddenly the passive friends fall away. Imagine you speak the truth while others settle for convenience. Suddenly, the fake friends distance themselves. It is not that you rejected them, it is that your values stopped matching their behavior. Seneca wrote that it is better to walk alone than to follow those who wander with no purpose. Most people do not value depth, consistency, or loyalty. They value distraction and comfort. So the deeper you go into your purpose, the more people you will naturally leave behind. This is not a tragedy, it is filtration. You are removing what was too weak to walk beside you. Insight 2. Solitude is the gym of the mind. Most men are terrified of being alone because solitude exposes the truth. When you sit in silence long enough, the mask falls off. All your flaws, all your fears, all your weaknesses rise to the surface. And that is why the average man surrounds himself with noise. He needs people around him, not because he loves them, but because he is afraid of what he will discover without them. But a Stoic understands a different truth. Silence is the forge. Solitude is where a man learns to command himself, without people distracting you, without noise drowning your thoughts, without shallow social obligations draining your focus. You finally face the real battles, not the ones outside, the ones inside. Epictetus said improvement requires that you be content to be seen as strange. Society calls you antisocial because society fears the man who is self-reliant. Think of the greatest warriors in fiction, Guts from Berserk walking alone with his sword against an entire world of demons. Batman choosing the shadows instead of crowds. Samurai in old Japan training under waterfalls in complete seclusion. The man who masters silence becomes unstoppable in any battlefield. If you can handle loneliness, you can handle pressure. If you can handle pressure, you can handle life. Insight 3. Lack of friends means you no longer tolerate the wrong ones. At some point, a man realizes that sitting with one loyal person is worth more than sitting in a room full of fakes. Quality has always been a stronger force than quantity, yet most people chase numbers because they want validation. They want to look socially successful. They want to feel important. A Stoic man wants something different. He wants alignment. He wants integrity. He wants real loyalty. A loyal friend is a man who challenges you when you go off track. A loyal friend is someone who watches your back when others watch you fail. A loyal friend is someone who holds the same values you hold, and that type of person is rare. So if you have one or two real allies, you are already richer than people who surround themselves with dozens of empty connections. I once knew a man named Daniel, strong, disciplined, quiet. For years, he tried to keep his friend group alive, even though they mocked his goals. They partied while he trained. They joked about his discipline. They complained when he stopped wasting time with them. One day, he realized something. He was not their friend. He was their entertainment. So he cut all of them off. For months, he felt isolated. He spent his nights reading, training, writing, building. A year later, he met two men who were on the same path: discipline, ambition, honor. They became his brothers. Today, Daniel is successful, grounded, respected, and his old friends are still repeating the same empty weekend cycles. Your isolation might feel painful now, but it is clearing the path for the right connections later. Insight 4. Your path requires focus that others cannot match. Men who walk ordinary paths can afford crowds. Men who choose uncommon paths cannot. When you are building something meaningful, something difficult, something heavy, your time becomes sacred. Your energy becomes precious. Every distraction becomes a threat. You cannot waste hours entertaining people who refuse to grow. You cannot carry the emotional weight of those who sabotage themselves and expect you to save them. Great men are often seen alone because their mission separates them from the average. Every hero's journey begins with isolation. Every transformation arc in anime shows the protagonist breaking away from the world to sharpen himself. Every legendary figure in history endured a season of silence before rising. The warrior trains alone before he steps onto the battlefield. The monk vanishes into the mountains before he gains clarity. The king survives the wilderness before he earns his crown. Your solitude is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the furnace where focus is forged. It is the storm that strips away the weak parts of you. It is the quiet crucible that turns a normal man into a weapon the world cannot bend. Insight 5. The right people meet you at the right level. You cannot force real connections. You cannot manufacture loyalty. You cannot turn someone shallow into someone deep. You cannot turn someone undisciplined into someone reliable. If you have to drag people up to your standard, they are not meant to walk beside you. They are spectators, not allies. But here is the promise that Stoicism repeats with iron certainty. When a man stays loyal to his values long enough, the world eventually sends him those who match his spirit. You begin meeting people who think like you, people who carry the same steady fire. People who understand effort, discipline, honor, and growth because they live by those codes too. This does not happen because you chase them. It happens because your life becomes a signal, a silent beacon that calls out to the right kind of soul. Real, recognize real is not a slogan, it is a law. If you shrink yourself to fit in, you will attract the lost. If you stand tall in your truth, you attract warriors, you attract builders. You attract people who can walk with you instead of weighing you down. So what does the lack of friends actually mean? It means your standards are rising. It means your environment is being purified. It means your mind is entering the next stage of strength. It means you no longer tolerate weakness or fakery. It means your path is narrowing so your destiny can widen. It means you are preparing for a life that requires clarity instead of noise. Most importantly, it means you are starting to value the one friendship that matters above all, the one with yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the man who is at peace with himself is never alone. You are building that peace now. Every quiet night, every silent morning, every moment when you feel like you have no one is actually a moment when you are learning to become someone. The world teaches men to fear loneliness. Stoicism teaches men to conquer it. And once you conquer it, once you become strong in solitude, you become unshakable among people. because the man who stands strong alone does not cling to anyone. He does not chase anyone. He does not depend on anyone. And that is the man who becomes truly free. So if your life feels quiet right now, do not curse it. Honor it. Build during this season. Strengthen your mind. Harden your habits. Sharpen your discipline. When the right people enter your life later, they will join a man who already stands on solid ground. Your lack of friends is not a weakness. It is a sign that your soul is undergoing reconstruction. You are not abandoned. You are being refined. And the man who survives this chapter becomes a force that cannot be broken. Thank you for watching. If you want more raw, unfiltered wisdom, join my free newsletter. You can find the link in the description. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.